Okay, so the purpose of this little video is to show you how I use a program to slightly edit an image that I have downloaded from a free website. And they offer really pretty monthly calendars that we can use as our best backdrop wallpaper images on our computers. So the program I like to use is in my Windows computer, and it's called Paint 3D. So when I turn this program on, I'm going to come up to a new project, and I'll just select new, and we're going to get a notice up here that unfortunately Microsoft is not going to continue updating this program after November the 4th. And if you click on the Learn More tab here, you'll find out that they are recommending that we just gravitate over to the regular Paint program that also comes with Microsoft. Anyway, for this particular kind of project, I actually prefer this little program. It's just a very simple editing thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to come on up and I'm going to insert an image. And just like almost all programs, the last place that I used an image from is what's going to be showing up here in the pathway. I'm going to select this one right here and I'll open it. When I do that, we've got some boundary boxes around here. And at this point, if I wanted to change the size of this image, I could do that by just dragging any of these little boxes around here and altering it. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to get rid of the logo. And the way that I would do that then is I would use the Magic Select tool, turn that on, and some new boundary boxes have now come around on this box, around this image here. And over on the right-hand toolbar, we're going to see some instructions about how to use this. Basically, what we're doing is we're just going to drag these little boxes around the area that we want to get rid of. So I'm just going to zoom in here just a little bit. We don't have to be super precise about this. I'll hit the next button. When I do that, you're going to see that there's a slight blue box around this whole little image, and I'm just going to say done. Now, at this point, we can do one of two things. We can either have the program autofill the background, or we can uncheck it, and I'll show you both and what will happen with both of them, because one of them will require just a little bit more work. At this point, let's go ahead and do the autofill the background. All right, and I'll say done. What will happen is it has now created a little, they call this a sticker. And I can move this thing around if I wanted to move it somewhere, or I could even save it if I wanted to. I'm going to delete it. And I want you to notice what has happened, because right underneath it, you're going to see a very faint blurriness. The program tried to do a good job of autofilling that background. You're going to see here where there was that red square. It's now just got a slight tint of pink. So if that were to bother you, we could further edit this image. If it doesn't bother you, you could go ahead and save the image at this point, depending on what you want to do with it. For example, if you are just going to be using it as a desktop wallpaper for a single month, you might just want to call it good and save it. Because oftentimes the way that we have our desktop shortcuts arranged on our computer, this might even be covered up and you would never even notice that it was there. Again, it's just a little temporary picture, so it's all up to you what you want to do. All right, so that's what would happen if we had it autofill the background. And on some images, it'll be better than others. I'm going to undo. So now my image is actually back, right? I'm just going to hit undo until I've got the whole brand new image back in here. And let's try this again. Okay, so let's come on into it. I do need to be able to see the boundary boxes. Let's hit Magic Select. This time we're going to draw our box. We're going to zoom in on it so I can see it a little bit better. We're going to say next. Again, those little blue things are there, but it's looking a little different. So I'm going to go back. I'm just going to leave it this big. I'll say next. Yeah, things are happening a little different this time. This time I'm not going to have it autofill the background. And I'm going to say done. Again, there's our little thing, right? So it left us kind of with a nice white spot. A little bit of that red around there is now showing up. Let's go ahead and let's delete that chunk. This time what we're going to do is we're also going to work a little bit more about filling in this area here, and we're going to use Magic Select once again. So turn on Magic Select, hit your next button. Let me zoom out of here. Let's undo that. Go back. Okay, Magic Select is still turned on. I do need to be able to see my corners of what I want to do here. So I'm just going to draw a new box, and it's just background. Watch what will happen. If I say next, it didn't create that little sticker this time. And the reason why it didn't is because there was no distinct object here. It really was just this very slightly textured background here. So the program didn't see that as something that could actually be selected. But what we can use is our add button. So I'll turn that on. And I'm just going to draw a box by holding my, not a box, but just a little shape, right? Just by holding down my mouse button and drawing a little blob. Now I've got something here, right? So I'm going to say done. And when I do that, I'm going to do two things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. Now what that did is it copied and pasted right over that spot there instead of removing it because there was no background there. So here it is right here, right? So I'm now going to be able to move it and it's just copied and pasted in a whole new object. And I'm going to drag it over here and cover up my little spot that I had left a little bit contaminated. So I can alter the size of this a little bit if I want to. You can see that I'm moving it around a little. You know, I could use a rotating button. It's not going to show up a whole lot with what I've got going on here. But that's just a simple way of how you could simply alter an image and get rid of a logo or maybe a part of a design that you didn't want using Paint 3D. So at this point, come up to your menu button and save or save as. So let's just save it as an image. When this screen opens up, again, over here on the right-hand side, if we wanted to change this PNG into a JPEG or a bitmap or something else, we have the option of doing that. We could change the pixels, the height, the width, and all these things that I don't fuss with generally. So I'm just going to save it. We're back in our folder and we need to give it a name. So I'm going to call it October 24-2 because I don't remember the name of that original design. Actually, I don't even know if it was, I don't even see the original one there. So October 24-2, and I will save it. And now it's ready to use somewhere else. So that's how simple it is to use Paint 3D. I've showed you a couple of techniques about using the Magic Select tool to crop a little image and delete it, and also how to copy and paste a section that you might want to cover up. There's a lot you can do with this program. You know, it's really worth playing around with and experimenting. So have fun with it, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.